In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 41st Elite Coruscant Landing Platform Clone Trooper in the antenna mold for the Legacy Collection. Another very special action figure for my collection. My mom actually got this for me for my birthday back in 2009. At the time, I had the Commander since 2007, so I thought, well, I have to have a regular Clone Trooper with him. So he was the first of the regular Coruscant Landing Platform clones I had, besides the Commander. But this time, the way I collected, I usually had the Commander, like Commander Cody, for instance, or Commander Bly, and then just one of the regular Clone Trooper alongside them. That's how I collected for many years. Well, of course, now, with a bigger budget and more of a desire to collect more clones, it's expanded a lot since then. But not a whole lot more I can really say about this guy than from other clones. Of course, he is the antenna mold, so it's the exact same sculpt. The only thing that's really different about him is in the paint apps here. So some would probably argue that this is still the best Coruscant Landing Platform clone that you can get to this day. We do have the one in the TVC line now, but of course there was a lot of problems leading up to that release, and even then it's still not 100% perfect. This one might be perfect, or as perfect as it can get. Perhaps Hasbro will do a repaint of it in the newest clone sculpt at some point. I wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see what happens. The paint apps on this are phenomenal, I think. A lot of intricate details noted in it. You got the gray dots here, gray on the shoulders, some details here, gray the back of his hands, gray on the belt. You have the lines along his thighs there on both sides, the gray on his legs. Helmet sculpt looks good. The paint apps fantastic on this. Articulation is the exact same as the antenna mold, with the ball joint the head, and then hinge shoulders, elbows, also wrists, and then joint the torso, swivel hips, and then hinged knees and hinged ankles. And for accessories, he's extremely light. He has the DC-15 carbine, which still has the elastic band around, and of course the antenna, which has a metallic look to it and is removable. Something unique about it. You see my clone's getting a little bit yellow, but still holding up. And then he is in the main line for Build a Droid, and after doing some research, it turns out he comes with one of the parts for this Death Star droid. I forget specifically which part he came with for me. It may have been part for this Death Star droid, I'm not sure. Or it may have been an entirely different part completely. But he is part of the same wave as like Jodo Cass, the holographic Dooku, the Salakamai Trooper that I reviewed previously. And then, what else was there? The Imperial Engineer, I think. And I'm trying to think if there was any others. I think that was pretty much it. But just to show off this droid again, I do have an individual for him, or individual video for him featured on the channel. I recommend checking out. And just one story that I'll tell real quick about this guy while I'm thinking of it, and since there's really not a whole lot more I can say about the figure, when I mentioned my mom got this for me for my birthday, I actually handpicked it out beforehand. So what happened is we were shopping at Walmart, and of course we go down the toy aisle. I was about 12 years old at the time. But there was another boy down the same section. He was probably like 8 or so at the time, 7 or 8. And he was telling, of course, he was shopping around at the Star Wars action figures as well. And he was telling me about all the various clones that he wanted to get because of the particular weapons they had and things like that. But I bring that up because it reminds me of the days where, I don't think kids have that experience so much anymore with even not Star Wars action figures, but just action figures in general. Because of price, availability, you go down the action figure aisles now at Walmart, for example, and there's hardly any, and some of them have been sitting there for years. But it's just kind of a shame thinking back to when I was a kid. And then, of course, this guy was very excited, just telling me all this. I forget exactly how the conversation started, but I guess he just really wanted to tell me about all the various clones he wanted to have at the time. But I don't really experience that so much anymore. The few times I go down the action figure aisle, I never see anybody shopping around for the action figures at all. I rarely get into a conversation with anyone just out and about Star Wars action figures. But it seemed like it was more prevalent at that time. But this action figure reminds me of a different time in Star Wars collecting history. But that's just one of those things you appreciate as time goes on, and you never forget it. But like I said, I think that's pretty much all I can tell you about this guy. Would I recommend him for your collection? I definitely would. Of course, he's an antenna mold clone. Can't go wrong with that. If you're a big fan of the Coruscant landing platform troopers, that makes him a must-have. And I would argue that, and I'm sure many others as well, would argue that he's the best of his particular clone trooper type at this point, even compared to the TBC action figure. But I'm sure that's open to debate. But it's been a part of my collection for 16 years now at this point, so I cherish him greatly. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. And check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.